Tell me if the screen is visible to you. Now in the lecture we have finished with class programs. So we will start with the classes program now. So the first program that we have to do is we will be doing a class person program. Now what we have to do in this class person program, we will be having a class person, and in the class person means if suppose it is asked to you to enter the name and the age of that particular person. So for that you need one method. So you have to, what you need to do, you have to take one method called as get data. Method matlab kya? Method means I wanted to say a function. Okay, so you'll be using a function to accept that values from the user, and then another function you will use it to display that values. So you can give the name as display, or you can give any other name, whichever you want. Okay, now we have to see how we can write this function inside the class and how we can write this function outside the class. We have to do both of this. We have to learn both of these methods now in program. Okay. Is the screen visible, students?
Yes, ma'am.
See this program now. We have a class person. For this class person, we have to, what I said, we have to accept the name and the age of the person. Abhi, see, now I can, now the person's name will not be a small one. It will be a combination of characters. So we will not be having one single character. So that's why we are declaring it as a character array. So here name we have declared it as a character array, and age we have declared it as integer. Both of them are private because here we have not specified any access visibility. So if we are not specified, by default it is private. Then in the public we have declared one roll number variable, and we have a get data method to accept that values of name and age. Okay, after accepting these values, what I said, you wanted to, whatever the values you have accepted from the user, you wanted to print it. So for that we have a display method. So both of this method we have written it inside the class. This is what your class structure is. Always your class structure you are closing it with a semicolon. This already we have discussed in the lecture. Now what you need to do, if you want this program or if you want this class to get executed, you know that your compiler will always start execution from main function. So the moment it will start the main function, what we need to do, we have to create the object of our class. So if my class name is person, P becomes the object of my class. Or in other sense, P is actually a user defined variable. P, you can also call it as what? It is a user defined variable. So I can use that variable to access the functions or the variables of my class. Without that object, actually object is nothing but what? It's an instance of a class. Means it represents your class. Like to represent your whole class, we have selected some CRs. So CR actually represents your whole class. If we are not able to communicate or if you are not able to tell anything to the whole class, we are communicating with everyone with the help of CR. Okay, so similarly here also what we are doing, we are communicating with the class with the help of what? With the help of an object. So to get an access to the variables of a class or the functions of the class, you have to make use of this object P. So if I write P dot roll number, I will be able to assign some value to it, or I will be able to access it, and then I can display it. Then to execute your functions, you have to call that functions using your object. So P dot get data and P dot display will call your methods. Understood? Understood, students? Yes, everyone, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Now if I'll execute this, see, it is asking me. Now what it is doing, it is starting the execution from main. So first of all, what it is doing, it is assigning the value to that roll number, and it is getting printed because we have written cout P dot roll number. That's why it is printing the roll number first. Then you are asking user to enter the name. So suppose I am entering the name as Archana and I am entering the age as 30. So it is printing the name and age because we are calling only these two methods. Okay. Now, if I don't wanted to print this roll number, or if I wanted to get an access to the private variables of the class. Now, what are the private variables? Name and age. If suppose I wanted to assign the value to age, if I'll write p dot age is equal to, suppose just an example, 25. Will it get executed? Will it get executed, students? Why?
It is private.
Yes, it is private and it will give you an error. So public members can be accessed outside the class, but private members cannot be accessed even if you are using it with the object of the class. Okay, so we cannot access that p dot age. But if you wanted to access the public member, like since roll number was declared here, so we can access it outside the class using an object of the class. Okay, so that was accessible, but the private variables are not. So finish this program first. Students, that scope resolution program we have finished with your batch, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Copied everyone this code?
Ma'am, wait.
Let me know once you are done, students.
नहीं जा रहा हूँ. चपाती मध्ये दुपारी केक कमी कर. नको करू. नूडल लागणार.
Let me know if you are done, students.
आजकाल 3 लाख रुपये में 5 टका. मला
Thanks, students.
थोडं हम्म. बारह बजे तक उठाना 12 बजे तक अभी बोलने का नहीं नहीं होना हाँ नहीं होना
Done, students?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I hope all of you have understood this program. Yes,
Yes,
students?
ma'am.
So this is your practical number 2, program number 1. We have to do a little bit changes now in this program. Like now this is, I have explained you this code uh, with what you can say, both the methods define inside your class. Get data also define inside your class, display also define inside your class. Now what I can do, I can make any one of this method also as private, and then we will see if we can access it, like the one which we have discussed in the class. Like suppose now this void get data, instead of writing it over here, if I have written it over here, suppose now this void get data you don't have. Now how you will be access this void get data? Will it be accessible? Will this p dot get data will give you the output? Yes, anyone? If I'll execute it, what will happen? It will give you an error. Why? Because private variables you cannot access it outside the class. So even if you are using object of the class, you cannot access p.getData. So what should I do for this one, students? Yes, what should I do for this one? Aditya, you are also there in batch 1, na? Or batch 2?
Ma'am, I am in batch 2.
So yesterday you was there for the practical, na? But
No, ma'am, I was not there.
okay. Okay, just tell me now, how will I call this get data method if I have declared it as private? See, if I have written it in the class person before public, that means this get data is private. So I cannot call it using an object. So what should I do for this? We have discussed this in the class, in the lecture. Where should I call this get data method? Yes, Parvati. Aishwarya. Apurva.
Yes, ma'am.
Where will I call this get data method?
Ma'am.
Where?
Ma'am, we have to write a syntax now.
What syntax? See, get data now, since it becomes a private method, you cannot access it directly outside the class. Right? So this p dot get data will give you an error. So what we need to do, see what we are doing for this statement, we are getting an error. So we need to, that means calling that function outside the class is an error. So we should call it somewhere else. So where we can call it? We can call it in the another public function of your class. Inside the another public function. So दूसरा public function कौन सा है class का? Display. So what we can do, before executing the code of display, we will call this get data method. Are you getting? Are you getting, students? सो इट विल वर्क द सेम वे. सो अभी क्या होगा, क्लास पर्सन में फर्स्ट पी ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट होगा, it will assign that roll number, it will display that roll number, and then it will go to p dot display. So p dot display will come over here, but when it will go inside the display method, it is calling get data. So first it will execute the get data method ka code, and then it will execute the remaining code of display. So if I'll run this, see, it's the same way it is working. Understood? Understood, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we'll be moving it to the next program. So the next program that we have, this is a small change we have done. Now next program is similar to this class person, but here now we have to do a class employee program. Now what we need to do in class employee, again in class employee, or instead of class employee, what you can do, you can or otherwise we will do the class employee program only, but instead of taking only one employee ka name and one employee's name and age, you will be taking multiple employees name and age. So to do that, this is a we will be creating one array program. We will be seeing how the arrays can be how we can create the objects array of the objects. Okay, how we can create array of objects. So you will be creating a class employee, where again you, if you want to ask for any other details, you can ask that. I will do the changes. We will do the changes, and then we will ask the means what we need to do now, depending upon how many employees you have. Every employee should enter his details like name and date of birth, or name and department. Like that you can take the details. Now I'm just removing this program. See now this program. Now this is a simple class employee program. Again here I have asked for name and age. So instead of name, now I will ask character department. We'll do some changes. We will ask for the department, and we will ask for int suppose salary. Then here also we have get data method and put data method. What you need to do in get data, you will ask the user to enter your department name. Enter your department name. You will take the department name, and what you wanted to enter, you wanted to enter the salary. Enter your salary. Then the same thing you wanted to display it in the display put data method. Suppose now I have taken the employee name also. So suppose character, I have taken the name variable also, name array also, name of 20. And here suppose we are asking user to enter that also. So we will have employee name, employee department, and employee salary. Now
दादी तू मुझे बार बार पूछो नको, मुझे क्या जो करने का मैं करूंगा, नको ऐसा बोलते जाओ। हो नहीं पढ़ने का बस, हाँ फिर नहीं करने का, नहीं करने का वो कि बिन काम का सुबह को सुबह पे सबके पीछे पड़े तू ना को पढ़ू।
See now, so we are having that get data method. Sorry, get data method to ask the employee to enter his name, department, and salary, and put data to display the details. Okay. So here we have to display. Now what I want, what I ask you, I don't wanted to have the details of only one employee. I wanted to have it of a multiple employee. So here I have taken one constant variable, const in size is equal to 3. Like how you have declared constant variables in C language. Similarly here also we can declare const variable with this keyword const. And I have taken that variable as size. It is of integer type, so we have declared the data type as integer. I wanted to get the details of 3 employees. That's why I have kept the size as 3. You can keep it as how much ever you want. Now in main, what we are doing, we are first of all creating a object of this employee. See, this employee is my class. This is my employee class, and manager is an object of that employee. So if suppose if you are not able to understand manager, what I'll do, I will write E of size, so that it will be easier for you to understand. What I'm doing, I'm writing employee E of size. Okay, employee E of size, or what I can write directly, employee E of 3. मतलब I wanted to have 3 employees का details. What I wanted to have, I wanted to have 3 employees का details.
Thank you.
Then after that, what we are doing? See, so this is what called as you are creating an array of object. You are creating an array of object because E is my object. I am creating an array of it. So that means in my object, I wanted to store the multiple values. I don't wanted to store only one value. In the previous example we have seen, we are able to store only one value, right? But we wanted to store multiple values. Okay. So now for that, that's why what we have written E of array, that is, and of the specific size, that is size. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than size, I plus plus. Because what we wanted to do, we wanted to get the details of 3 employee. Right. So we will type in the for, so we have taken the for loop, and inside that we are writing details of employee. And here we have to do I plus 1 because every time you will get the details and go to the next one. So here instead of manager of, here I will write E of I dot get data. Means first time, see, I hope all of you are getting, students. Yes, students.
Ma'am, can you please explain what was that?
Okay. See what happens last time, the previous program which we have did, this program is similar to that. I can simply write, if suppose I wanted to get the details of one employee, what I will do, I will just create one object. I will write employee E, and simply I will write E dot get data and E dot put data. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now what I said, I don't see with that every time you have to execute, and when you will execute, then only you will be able to enter the data. Means at a time you are able to enter only one employee ka data.
Yes.
Now I want the user should be able to enter more than one employee ka data. Okay. So I want some fixed size. I want the user should be able to enter 3 employees ka details. I want the user should be able to enter 3 employees ka details. That's why I have created a array object. I have created a array which is of size 3. But ये array किसका बनाया है मैंने? Array बनाया है वो object का, because E is my object. Yes or no? See, for every employee, see, first employee का मैं details enter करूँगी, I will have the same details to enter, like his name, department and salary. For second employee also I will enter the same details. For third employee also I will enter the same details. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So that's why instead of asking that again and again, I can take the array. I can make use of the array of that particular object. So that's why here I have defined the array of that particular object. So E is my object and I have defined the size of that array object as 3. That's why यहाँ पे हमने constant size दिया है 3 का. Okay. Now one by one you wanted to enter all the employee का details. ऐसा नहीं first employee का सिर्फ name enter किया, फिर second employee का name enter किया, फिर first employee का age employee enter किया. ऐसा नहीं करना है. First we will get all the details of employee 1. Once we are done with employee 1, then we will get the details of employee 2 and then employee 3. So that's why we are using a for loop where we have declare int I is equal to 0. I is less than size, because the maximum how many employees ka details we want? 3. I plus plus. So then we are asking enter the details of, see here we are we wanted to get the details of that particular employee. Now already we have taken the details in get data method, right? So we have to call that get data method. Okay, every time when you are fetching one employee ka details, you should call that get data method. So details of employee, you will be calling E dot get data. In simple terms, how you will call E dot get data. But now how you will call? See, first employee ka details will be stored at location E of 0. Second employee ka details will be stored at E of 1. And third employee ka details will be stored at E of 2. So E of 0 dot get data, then E of 1 dot get data, then E of 2 dot get data. Like that we will call. Are you getting? Are you getting now?
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly here also we will have that E of I dot put data. Same way now whatever the details we have taken, we wanted to print it. So for printing it we have a put data method, right? So here we will write, again we will take the one for loop to display all the details. Now when I will execute you will understand. So I am calling again E of I dot put data. So if I'll run this program, see, I am getting details of employee 1. What I am getting? Details of employee 1. So it is asking me to enter the name. Suppose just a random names I am entering. Name is Hari, department is IT, and salary is suppose 20,000. See, now details of employee 2. Once I finished entering the details of employee 1, it is asking me to enter the details of employee 2. Suppose the name of employee 2 is department is suppose sales, salary is 10,000. Now it is asking me to enter the details of employee 3. So XYZ, department is salary is 8,000. Now can you see, first it has asked me to enter the details of employee 1, employee 2 and employee 3. And then it is displaying all the details. Employee 1 ka name is Hari, department is IT, salary 20,000. Department 2, sorry, employee 2 name is ABC, department is sales and salary is 10,000. Employee 3 name is this one, department is this one, salary is 8,000. Why this has happened? Because we have taken it in for loop. अगर मुझे नॉर्मल प्रोग्राम लिखने का होता तो कैसे लिखती थी मैं? एम्प्लॉई ई डॉट गेट डेटा एंड ई डॉट पुट डेटा. ऐसा, if we have done it like that, what will happen? It will just ask you to enter once the details of the employee, right? You will not be able to enter it multiple times. But now since we want to take multiple users ka details, so we have created array object. Hope all of you have understood now. Yes, everyone.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can I ask something?
Yes, sure.
मैम आप वो कांस्टेंट वेरिएबल वाला एक वापस बार बता दो कांस्टेंट का.
कांस्टेंट एक जस्ट सी, इट कैन बी एनीथिंग. लाइक अभी मैंने कांस्टेंट यहाँ पे क्यों डिक्लेयर किया है? बिकॉज आई हैव टू डिफाइन दिस अरे का साइज. ये एम्प्लॉय का जो मैं ऑब्जेक्ट बना रही हूँ, ये इज माय ऑब्जेक्ट, राइट? ना हाउ मेनी एम्प्लॉय का डिटेल्स यू वांटेड टू हैव? 5 एम्प्लॉयज का चाहिए, 10 एम्प्लॉयज का चाहिए, दैट विल बी डिपेंडेंट ऑन यू. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दैट साइज शुड बी नोन टू मी. So since this size should be known, so I have declared it outside my main as a constant variable with the value as 3. Because I wanted to display 3 employees का details. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, 3 ही चाहिए. You can keep this size as 5, 10, how much you wanted to. But उतना details enter करना पड़ेगा. Got it?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Because see, क्या होगा अभी यहाँ पे मैंने 3 लिया है. So E of size will be 3. It will be E of 3. So your for loop will execute for I int I is equal to 0. I is less than 3. I plus plus. Okay. Then you will get details of employee. Now 0 plus 1. So it will give you 1. So details of first employee. That's why you are getting details of employee 1. So E of 0 dot get data. So what you have at E of 0 dot get data? So it will ask you to enter the details of that employee. So you will enter name, department and salary. Same thing for second employee also and third employee also. Understood everyone? Anybody is having any doubt in this program? Yes, students.
No, ma'am.
Okay, finish this code and please let me know once you are done. You can put it in the chat box that done with the program, or if any one of you can speak, you please use the mic. You can please say that you are done with the program so that I can proceed to the next one. Okay?
Hi everyone and welcome to this brand new episode. Today we're going to talk about how to fix the cyclic redundancy check error on Windows. Pretty unpleasant situation because when you try to access a drive, very often an external one, you get this error, cyclic redundancy check, and you're totally unable to access any data. Fortunately, we know a few ways how to fix this behavior and of course how to get your files back in a safe way. So stay tuned until the end of this episode, and if you enjoy this kind of practical data solutions and tutorials, consider subscribing to our channel. My name is Michael, let's go. Before we dive into the troubleshooting section, of course, we need to talk about what causes this kind of error. So CRC, cyclic redundancy check. It's a basic method and algorithm which is used by Windows for amplification of data, the way it's being written to different drives. So it could be a hard drive, it could be CD or DVD, or of course external drive. No matter what the drive is, CRC is gonna be there, and every time you access some files, it's actually in place. So far, it makes perfect sense, but we need to talk about the actual reasons. And we've narrowed down the top 4 reasons for this occurring. One of the major issues usually is the Windows registry. As a second suspect, could be a cluttered hard drive, could be a misconfiguration or failed installation of a specific software or program, or misconfigured files. Of course, it's known as software-related reasons. Could be a hardware issue, a bad sector, or a sequence of bad sectors could be, of course, the major reason for CRC errors. Some of you might remember when trying to copy data from a CD drive, this cyclic redundancy check, then you pull out a DVD or CD drive and just wipe it clean. and make works. Well, unfortunately, in hard drives, we can't execute the same things, but luckily for us, they have more advanced mechanisms for protecting their data. So now it's time to explore a few different ways of how to fix the condition. And trust me, the sooner you get rid of the CRC errors, the better for your data consistency. So let's begin with the first method. Like any other hard drive related error, we can try fixing the cyclic redundancy checks issues with the checkdisk utility. For people who don't know checkdisk, it's a built-in Windows utility that is designed to find and fix different errors on your hard drives. Here's how we can use the checkdisk utility on our Windows computer. First of all, we open command prompt, write as administrator. To do this, type cmd in the start menu, right-click on the command prompt, and select run as administrator. Once the command prompt is opened, type in chkdsk, the drive letter, /f/x/r, and press enter. Wait for checkdisk to scan and fix the available problems. It's going to take longer for hard disk drives, which are of a big size, and also it's going to be much quicker on SSDs. Checkdisk to scan and fix the available problems. It's going to take longer for
CDH.
hard disk drive, which are of a big size, and of course it's going to be later. To do this, type cmd in the start menu, right-click on the command prompt, and select run as administrator. Once the command prompt is opened, type chkdsk, the drive letter /f/x/r. Another way to fix the cyclic redundancy errors is by using System File Checker, also known as an SFC scan. This is a commonly used utility for scanning and repairing different file systems. Since misconfigured system files can also be the cause for CRC errors, we can use the SFC to fix that. So again, we open the command prompt. Now we type SFC/scan now, and we press enter. Wait for a few minutes until System File Checker is ready and done with scanning and fixing all the system files. Again, after the process completes, check if you're able to act. Access the hard drive or not. If we still keep on getting CRC errors, time to try disk check. This is another Windows utility that can be launched from the File Explorer. Disk Check will perform a quick scan and repair all the damaged system files so that you can regain access to your hard drive. So open File Explorer, right-click the drive that we want to repair, then click on Properties. At this point, Windows will initiate the Disk Check utility and start scanning the hard drive. Wait for a few seconds, and once the process completes, you're going to be able to access the drive without any interruption or whatsoever. Right. If the CRC errors were caused by any software-related issues, they should have been fixed by now by any of the three scenarios we've just reviewed. And if that's the case, well done. Thing is that there is a catch. Could be that while we have been fixing the file system, all the system files, some of the data has been
Hello, ma'am.
unreadable or inaccessible, or it's just missing from your hard drive. So in that case, you might have to recover some of your data which is currently unavailable on your system, but don't you worry because we have
Hello,
very good
ma'am.
solution. Let me show you recover it. Time to quickly walk you through the step-by-step stage of recovering deleted files using our brilliant software. So first of all, install and launch recovery on your computer and select the drive's location where you think there are some files missing. If that's an external device, make sure to select it. Then click Start in order to begin the scanning process. This is going to take a while. Be patient and also regularly take a look at the list with the files until you find those that you actually need. After recovery has completely finished the scanning process, it's displaying the whole list with everything you managed to find.
Ma'am, can you scroll down, ma'am? Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes, shall I scroll, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael and I'm so happy to see you again on the channel. And I'm back with providing you with simple and feasible data solutions. Today we're going to talk about what to do when we attach a hard drive to our system and it doesn't show up in our device list. So yeah, topic is external hard drives, and that's probably the most affordable and most reliable solution for backing up our data. Sometimes we use these buddies for transferring important data from one computer to another. So having them working fine all the time is essential. Usually they're fairly simple to use. Essential. Usually they're fairly simple to use. All you have to do is just plug them in and they appear on the computer. Then you can drag, drop, copy, delete files, do whatever you like. But sometimes we may connect our external drive to the PC with a USB port and find out that it doesn't show up. Usually the problem could be caused by one of these reasons. A broken USB port, or we may have partition issues on the external drive, or we're using the wrong file system, or there's a driver corruption, or the driver is simply outdated. Now, stay tuned because if there's a will, there's a way, and we'll talk about all these possibilities and how to overcome them. First thing to do, let's go to a personal computer with Windows operating system and explore the disk management utility. This is the first place we should check whether the hard drive shows up if we're troubleshooting. Press the Windows key and the X button, or simply right-click the Start button and select Disk Management from the list. Or you can also press the Windows key and
Done, students?
it already is advanced magic.
Ma'am, wait a minute.
disk mgmt.msc. That's opening the very same thing, disk management. After that, we're going to see disk management summary, and it's going to show us all the available hard drives which are connected and recognized by the computer. We should see our external hard drive also listed in the disk management window, even if it doesn't appear in the PC window, because sometimes it simply doesn't have any partitions, and this is very likely to happen if you're attaching a brand new external drive for the first time. If you see the drive here, that's good news. Let's try to initialize it. Go and select it. In this way, you're going to partition and properly format the device so that it's properly recognized by Windows. Alternatively, if you see simply unallocated space, you only have to create a new partition. And let's see how this is done. Right-click on the unallocated space, select New Symbol Volume, which is the option, and then follow the wizard, create a new partition. Once finished partitioning the drive, you can safely remove the drive, plug it back, and it should be operating back as normal. There's a third possible scenario, which is the nicest of all of them. Your external drive is fine. There is a partition, however, there is no letter which is assigned to that partition. So here's what we do in that situation. Right-click on your drive and select Change Drive Letter and Paths. Select the Add option if your hard drive doesn't have a drive letter. Click the Change if it already has a letter. And make sure to select Assign the following drive letter. Then select the one you prefer and click the OK button. So far, so good. We have explored 3 of the rather simple scenarios. Now, we're going to increase the difficulty and involve different file systems. If the drive appears partitioned, but you still can't access it, it's probably partitioned with a different file system. For example, you may have formatted your drive with the XFS file system from Linux or APFS on Mac, but Windows can't read those file systems. You need to reformat the drive with a newer ADFS or with the older FAT32 file system so that Windows will be able to recognize it. Formats, but please make sure that you have a backup of all the data that you're about to erase. If your external drive is still not showing up even after the format, don't give up and carry on. You need to determine why your drive is not recognized. It's possible that you have a hardware issue, or a driver problem, or simply the drive is dead. To exclude the possibility of a broken USB port, we're going to make a very basic exercise. Take the external hard drive and plug it into another USB port. If the drive shows up, it's clear that port number 1 is faulty. If it still doesn't show up, maybe it's a good idea to verify whether it's going to appear on another one. Today, I'm glad to share with you how to troubleshoot this one unknown non-initialized problem. Click like or leave comments if you like this video. Subscribe for more story. Reasons because this one unknown non-initialized. The first one is outdated driver. The second one is virus attack. The third one is partition loss. The fourth one is bad sectors. The last one is FBR corruption. Different methods under different situations. Situation 1. This unknown, non-initialized, no disk space. Check your disk. If there is a medical error, you only can replace it with a new hard drive. If there is nothing better than this, the disk initialized non unknown, no disk space should be due to easy modification. You need to turn on the PC, disconnect the hard drive,
अंदर रख
and
दो
then
ना अंदर रख दो कपाट हाँ हाँ
after 10 more seconds, insert the battery and turn on the computer. Then shut down the computer. Reconnect the hard drive to your PC and restart the PC. How to update driver. The first step is right-click Start button. Select Device Manager from the list. Step 2. Click Disk Drivers. Right-click the hard drive. Select Update Driver Software. Step 3. Select Search automatically for updated driver software. Thing 2. This unknown, non-initialized, unallocated space. The first one. In initialize this one. Right-click this PC, then click Manage. Next, click this management. Initialize disk will appear automatically. If not, follow my steps to find it. Right-click this one. Choose Initialize disk. In the pop-up window, you can select the disk to initialize and choose NVR or choose different type. The second one is fixed. The second one is fixed or review NVR. Search arbitrary system. Download standard version for free. Step 1. Launch Partition system. Step 2. Right-click the hard drive. Select Review NVR. Step 3. You can set the type of NVR for the current operating system in the pop-up dialog box. Click OK. Step 4. Then, go back to the main interface. Click Apply at the toolbar to launch the progress.
Done, students?
Yes.
Yes, students. Done, everyone, with this code?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One more thing, students. Today you will not have OOPS lecture. So please inform this to batch 1 students as well. Okay. Now, next program. See, this is your practical number 2. Program number, how many programs we have done? 2 programs we have done, right? First
No,
is
ma'am.
class. Yes?
Ma'am, both lectures we are not having.
No, both lectures you don't have today.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. What I was saying. First we have done the class person, then class employee. And now after this class employee, you will be doing a class demo program. Okay, you will be adding class student program also by yourself. Class student में same way you have to do, but the only thing is क्या करना है तुम्हें अभी student का, you have to take name, roll number and marks. You will ask the in get data, you will take these 3 details. Yes, everyone, please listen carefully. My question: you have to create a class student which will
Can you
accept.
repeat, ma'am?
You will create a class student which will accept name, roll number and marks of that particular student. Okay, and you will have a display method to display it. Okay, now like your manager, this class employee, you will be accepting the details of 3 or 5 students. You will be accepting the details of 5 students. Clear everyone with this? Now one more program you have for homework. That is, I will just give you some part of that particular program. Yes, everyone done with this program? Can I remove it? Class employee wala? Can I remove class employee program?
Step 1. Launch Partition system.
Batch 2, you people are,
Yes.
nobody responds from batch 2. Batch 1, at least I have so many
Yes,
students who respond. Now here afterwards, those who are responding only to them, I will give the attendance. I'll do it like that if you people will not respond. See, one more program you have to do it with respect to classes and objects, that is class demo. What you have to do it in class demo, like as you can see it over here. Here I have declared one variable and one private method I have, that is read number, which is asking user to enter a number. Now, whatever the number the user has entered, you have to accept that number and you have to find out the factorial of it. To find out the factorial of it, you have to declare one factorial method. Okay? To find out the factorial of a number, you have to define one factorial method. To get the reverse of that number, you have to define the reverse method. And to check whether the number is palindrome, you have to define is palindrome method also. Now you know all of you must be aware about the code of factorial. Yes or no? Yes or no, students? All of you must be aware about
Yes.
the factorial code. So just write down that code. I have given the factorial ka code. Reverse ka code also you must be aware about. Like how you will get that particular how you will reverse that number. If suppose the number is 151 or 150. So how you will do? How you will get that particular number? First you have to divide it. Then you have to get the remainder. So whatever the number you have at the remainder, that will become the first one. That you have to store it as the first digit. Then whatever again you have to divide it. Whatever the two-digit number you will get, again you take the remainder of it like that. If you do it, you will get the reverse of a number. So reverse ka code also you must be aware about. So all of you can try that reverse ka code. And then after that, what you have to do, you have to call these methods from your program which will display the factorial, reverse and the palindrome ka code also you have to try by yourself. Like here in this program, I have created a class demo in which I have just declared these three methods and I have defined only the factorial ka code. But you have to write the code for reverse and you also have to write the code for is palindrome. You have to check whether the entered number is palindrome or not. Okay. So if suppose like if I'm executing this code, see, enter a number. If I'm entering 5, it is giving me the factorial of 5 as 120. So same way it should also give you the reverse of a number and it should also tell you whether the entered number is palindrome or not. Clear everyone with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody is having any doubt with this program? Yes, students. Anybody is having any doubts? All of you will be finishing these two programs and you will put it in the chat box.
Ma'am, which class student and this one?
Class student and this one, yes. You will put it in the chat box and then you will leave. Okay? You will be writing the code for class student and you will be writing the code for class demo.